Support for this episode is provided by Pennsylvania College of Art and Design and listeners like you. Welcome to the Lancast. I'm Keith Slusser.
And I'm David Moulton.
And I'm Sean B. Martin.
And I'm Jason Mundock.
And this is Guys Night. All right, well, why don't we start in right with our questions? If I can get... Yeah. Keeps turning off on me.
Technology is not your friend, Keith.
No, it's not. It hates me. It's going to take over the world. So, we have a list of questions here for our Guys Night. First question is from Jason, and the question is, are bearded men the new sexy?
Jason, you can't ask questions yourself.
It's not. It's a different Jason.
But I agree that it is definitely the new sexy.
Excellent. New
yeah,
sexy.
absolutely.
Coming from
I don't even know if it's the new sexy. I think it's always been the sexy.
Always been the sexy.
Didn't we have enough beard discussion last time? And then I got really jealous about how I can't do that. I can't participate in the sexy.
It was kind of a sad moment for you and a glorious moment for me and Jason.
Well, really, for me, I mean, beard or no beard, I bring the sexy.
No one's arguing.
I know. There was silence because they were all like,
Yeah.
"Oh,
We were all
it's so true. It's right.
Silence is consent.
I'm going to put in a sound effect there like...
It's so true."
Or crickets.
The audience doesn't approve.
The question wasn't why is Keith sexy all the time?
Oh, and to follow up, Jason asks another question: what do women really want from a man?
Beards.
Obviously,
Apparently.
I thought that question was answered already with the first one. So,
If our beards were made of chocolate, I think that's the only thing that would, like, ante it up for the ladies.
made of chocolate.
Yeah, chocolate beards.
That would be really uncomfortable though.
And gross when you got hot.
Well, it's all like melt. You think mosquitoes are bad now? Yeah, you got a chocolate beard. That'd be terrible. Bees and mosquitoes and flies, everything.
This conversation's not awkward. Meaningful questions going somewhere.
I'm going to go home and write a short story about a guy whose beard turns into chocolate. And the trials and tribulations of having a melting chocolate beard.
Melting chocolate beard.
How about a man who just naturally grows chocolate beards? So he shaves them into the bowl,
That's
how you get shaved chocolate?
That's kind of
sprinkles them on his ice cream. Right?
I'm pretty sure I'll
And
never
then-
be able to have chocolate sprinkles again after that question.
They're tiny little hair follicles from this
Oh
one.
god! Yeah. Oh, never. I knew the reason I never wanted sprinkles on my ice cream. Hair follicles, crazy. Ew. All right. Our next question is from Ron. What level do you prefer in a parking garage? Bottom, mid, level, or top? Assuming open air on top.
You know, this is one of those ones, it depends if it's attached to, like, the building you're going to.
This is one of those ones where I'm just kind of like,
So, like-
who cares?
Ron cares.
I always go up. Because
You go all the way to the top.
not all the way to the top, because I don't want it to rain on my car.
All right, so you go to the height -1.
Yeah. Because, I mean, if you have an option to go up, like, why wouldn't you?
So that it's a shorter way out when you're
You
done.
can take the elevator.
Well,
No,
I'll
the
tell-
drive.
I'll tell
when you got to
in-
drive out.
In general, when I park in a parking garage or in a parking lot, I usually park the distance where I'm just sort of like not close to any other vehicles. Not because I care about my car getting scratched, and if anyone had seen my car, they would know that I don't care about my car getting scratched. It's more that I just don't want to scratch anybody else's car, and it's a lot easier to back out of your space when
Keith is always driving drunk.
Yeah, I'm always drunk. In fact,
He's just
I'm drinking
being
a beer
cautious.
right now while we're talking. That's not a lie.
Drinking while podcasting.
I know.
For shame.
Do you guys have preferences?
I don't know if I do. I think I try to park close to the elevator.
Yeah.
So, in other words, if there are parking spaces on the first or second level, but they're on the other side of the opposite side from where the elevator is, I probably would keep going until I found one that was relatively close to the elevator. That would be about it, I think, as far as...
Yeah, okay, so I think I was exaggerating a little bit. I usually go for the elevator too, but I have like, depending on what kind of neighborhood it's in. If it's a good neighborhood, like I'm not going to care where I park. But if it's in like a little bit better of a neighborhood, I'm going to park closer to the bottom where the security guys are. Because the higher up you go, the easier it is to have someone bust in your car and nobody like.
Yeah, that's true.
I think I just park for convenience.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lazy.
No, if I see the first spot and I think it's not far away from where I'm going, that's where I park. I don't remember ever parking on the top of a parking garage, ever.
Really?
I don't know if I ever have. I don't know if I've ever been on the top of a parking garage.
I feel like we need that. I feel like that's a vlog that you need to like.
First time on the top.
Maybe that's a bucket list.
Guys, this is amazing. I can't believe I can see my house from here.
I'm so high up.
The one down here by the Marriott, I've parked at the top several times. I think it was just too busy that I ended up going and ended up at the top. But I do.
Really?
Yeah, I've parked there a couple times at the top.
That's
It's nice.
Yeah?
It's nice. Well, I guess it's the King's. It's right next to. You pull in. You actually pull in on Duke.
Oh yeah.
Around the corner from Annie.
If you're on the top, you run the risk of Batman like hitting your car
With his tumbler.
You all know that Batman's like jumping building to building.
He doesn't give a crap about your car.
I know, it says compact, and you saw in the movie, he just backs up into that compact zone, pushes the two cars to the side. And that movie was based on reality.
Based on a true story.
Loosely.
Many years ago in Gotham.
The time that Jason parked on top of the Marriott.
Right. It was based on his life story, actually.
So, Jason, tell us, who is Batman?
I can't reveal that secret.
Wow.
Does he have a beard?
Does he?
Absolutely.
Wow.
Bearded Batman.
He's a well-bearded man.
Well-bearded man. All right, moving on. So Carter asks, any words that you hate, either to hear or say? I know several people who can't stand the word moist.
Let's all say moist.
So what of it, Guy? How about you, David? You go first. What any words you hate?
Man, I know there are... Okay, one that I've gotten used to, that used to drive me insane, was people calling me Dave.
Really?
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
So you hate the word Dave.
I've gotten used to it, because as I think some of our listeners know, I am in a synesthete. I have synesthesia, so I see colors for sound. And for some reason, the colors for Dave have always driven me crazy. Like, they make me angry. And
are you experiencing like Hulk rage right now?
Because I'm saying it.
He's hulking out.
Yes, he's starting to sweat even more than usual.
Than normal.
Yeah, it's like 2 buckets an hour instead of.
I mean, I've gotten used to it because I have a lot of friends now that call me Dave, and it was just like it was too cumbersome to be like, I prefer David. But so there are still some people in my life that when they call me Dave, I'm like, no. My name is David. Like my mom. So, I don't know.
You don't let your mom call you Dave?
He doesn't ever correct me, but he does add an id. I was wondering. I always thought he had like.
He just keeps going id.
That's what people.
I just thought
Dave,
he had.
like,
what's that syndrome where you make noise and stuff like that? Because
Tourette's.
I just thought he had Tourette's.
He's got a
because every
tick.
time I said, "Hey, Dave," you go id.
Twitch.
Id.
Yeah, so that's mine.
Dave.
Your name shortened is. Okay.
Yeah, my name's shortened.
Does it bother you when somebody else is calling someone else Dave?
No, because they're not referring to me. I mean, it's
Okay.
still, I don't like the
He's
sound
taking
of
it
Dave.
personally.
Yeah, something about like when someone's like, "Hey, Dave." Like a lot of times, like I won't answer to it because it doesn't register to me that
Yeah,
you're
right.
talking to me.
Got it.
Now, if you want to call me,
What about David?
I'm okay with that.
Okay. I will now refer to you.
What about David Bowie?
David.
Probably won't answer to that.
About David, the Latin lover.
You know, funny thing about my name though is my handle online for almost everything is DB Moulton, and there were people I was meeting at tweet ups that would come up to me and be like, "Oh, you're DB." And
DB.
I'm like, who? I was like, I'm just like DB Cooper. Like,
Right.
What? And I had to get used to that for a little while. So I'm glad that didn't stick on because
DB.
that was such a weird. I wasn't.
Yo, DB.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You down with DB?
I definitely don't have any words I don't like, but my wife does. For some reason, she really doesn't like the word flesh.
Really?
That word like really gives her the willies or something. And so every so often I'll pull it out. You know, when I need to use that weapon, I'll just be like, "Hey, babe, flesh." And she's like, "Ew."
She must not listen to you narrate your Minecraft videos, then.
Do I spend a lot of time saying flesh?
The zombie, you're like, oh, I ate some zombie flesh.
Oh, that's true.
On flesh.
Yeah, it's baked right into the game.
Yeah.
I wonder if it annoys her when she plays it, because she totally plays Minecraft too, just not for the world to see.
I don't know if I have any that are top of mind, like that I. But I remember as a kid there were certain words. There were certain words that seemed to be weird, like catechism was one. That was I grew up Catholic, and that was like that's what they call Sunday school essentially is catechism. And I didn't have any bad experiences that I remember. But
That is a weird word, though.
But it is a weird word, like and I just maybe I just associate.
It also doesn't really look that way, the way it's spelled.
No, it's something.
TH. It's like Catholicism.
Because you say it, and my initial reaction would be like was to be like Jason's called cataclysm. It's a different word,
Right.
Oh, you know what? It doesn't. I don't have words that bother me. I have words that bother me when they are mispronounced.
Oh, okay. So what's one of those?
Like libary.
Oh,
That really bothers me. I had a professor at Millersville who said library, and it just drove me nuts.
What about like wash and wash?
That's kind of like a regional dialect thing.
Yeah.
That doesn't bother me
How
as
about
much.
herb and herb? I mean, you say herb, I say herb because there's an H in it. No, I'm just kidding.
What are you, British? Got some basil?
Well, it's like, okay, so being a horticulturalist, people say poinsettia, and it's poinsettia.
Right.
Ooh,
Right.
Yeah.
poinsettia.
It's poinsettia.
I
That
never
is
would have
actually.
said
I always thought people were making fun
People
of it.
say Gerber daisy, and it's Gerbera daisy.
Does that drive you nuts?
A little bit. Or when people call basil.
Which they totally do in a lot in the world.
They do, yeah.
Yes.
It just drives me
I'd like
nuts.
to eat my basil over here.
Does anyone have a problem with nuclear?
Nuclear.
It's not the right pronunciation, right?
Nuclear.
Nuclear,
Nuclear.
Yeah, nuclear.
not nuclear.
Not
Nuclear.
No, nuclear.
That was
is
a
wrong.
G.
Not the way
G-dub
W
thing.
said it.
Right.
Yeah.
Nuclear.
It's hard to even say it if you don't say it.
You
that
get
way.
really confused.
Well,
You're like, which one was the right one?
Wait, what?
I'm so confused.
And
it annoys me though. I can't remember which one though.
I'm just mad.
it's not unlike realtor. Realtor it's realtor.
Realtor.
Yeah.
It's not realtor.
Right.
But most people, when they say it, they say realtor.
That word right there annoys me because it doesn't make any sense to me.
A realtor?
Yeah, I'm like, I don't understand.
I hate words that you're not sure whether it's pronounced right or not. Every time you hear it, it just never sounds right. Like ambulance never sounds right to me. It's ambulance.
Ambulance.
It's, every time I say it, I'm always like, is it
Fajitas.
It just doesn't sound right.
What about the euro?
The euro?
Gyro, the gyro.
Gyro. Yeah.
Gyro.
I used to go to this. I would go to Rehoboth Beach with my family every year, and I would get euros at this one place that had a sign that said "It's pronounced," and then it was YEE-ROH. Euro.
Which is funny, though, because we have a restaurant in town called Spiro Gyro.
Are you sure it's called that? Or is
It's
it Spiro
Euro.
Spiro Euro?
Yeah.
Right, I should ask.
They just never corrected anybody.
Call them and see how they answer the phone.
The first week they were like saying no, it's like that, no, and then finally like
They have it's spelled out in their menu.
Should we call them on air?
Yeah, absolutely.
Give me my phone.
It's spelled out in their menu as well. YEER.
Okay.
Is
Yeah.
it really?
Yeah, if you look at
speaker?
the menu, it is.
Yeah, I have speakerphone. Let me just turn my phone back.
Do we have to get them to sign a release?
You want to ask them?
Hi, could you tell us how you pronounce the name of your restaurant?
Gyro.
It is Gyro?
Gyro.
Okay, you just settled a debate for us. Thank you.
You're welcome.
She's like, that was the weirdest question of the night.
How many times did they call?
I cannot hear you.
Well, that's weird.
Spelled out on their menu, euro.
Euro.
Yeah.
But it's Spiro
Pronounced
Gyro.
gyro.
Maybe she doesn't know. No, I'm not even putting that thought in her head because we know that she was right.
It's fantastic. It's a great place.
Yeah,
It's my favorite restaurant in town.
Playing to our. I mean, they know nobody's going to pronounce it right, so they just play to the.
They've just given
knows
up.
it, just given up.
The English.
That's what I said. They pretty much given up. You know, English don't want to speak any more than one language. Why bother? No one can think that fast.
Well, I'm glad that we resolved that.
Yeah.
Let's move on.
It was important to be.
Okay. All right, from Becky, we have: if you could give all your money away to one cause, what would it be?
If I gave all my money away, no one would be very thankful. Oh, thanks for the gum wrapper.
Okay, so let's make this more hypothetical. Imagine that you
Had money.
Imagine you won the lottery and you wanted to give all the money away.
Wow.
There we go. Okay.
So you're gonna give all the money to charity.
I know. I'm going to give it to Bill and Miranda Gates because those two are going to save the world.
Oh, nice.
They are single-handedly like ending malaria and smallpox in different parts of the world. It's insane.
So you're gonna go for health with yours.
Yes.
Okay, so World Health.
World Health.
Wow.
That's not an
Outdo
organization.
that generosity.
Like wow wingeries or
No, like wow. How do you follow that without it seeming like a jerk?
With my hypothetical money
Yeah.
that I don't have.
Sean just saved half the world. Anything short of that is.
He just made them all healthy. We have to feed them still. So.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, there we go.
I was going to talk about art, but
Yeah.
I guess if there are more
That's
people
legit.
alive,
Then people make money from art.
yeah.
So
People live from art.
yeah.
I just don't know what the charity would be.
So if there was a cause, let's say
A cause. Well, then it would be the performing arts for me.
Okay. So
Yeah.
you would give all your
I would find charities
performing
within
arts.
the performing.
You're going to give
arts.
it to PBS.
while people are dying from malaria and stuff. Whatever. Okay, fine, Jason. Okay, so
No, because Sean just saved them all, and they need to be entertained.
Oh, so we all got a ton of money, and it's
That's
a
right.
progression. Okay. Now, Keith, what would you go with?
I would just build myself an army and take over the world and make peace.
You want to do a Duke Lato?
So Keith's going to become a dictator.
I think that's a recurring theme
But
too from last time.
I'd be a good dictator.
Yeah, I think that's what every dictator thinks.
Okay, do you have a legit cause?
World hunger.
World hunger.
Yeah.
Okay, so since we're all going on this line, Sean has made everyone healthy. Jason's made everyone entertained. Keith has made sure everyone's fed.
well fed before the performance.
Yeah, for the performance. While all of you are making more people on Earth.
This sounds like a prepared answer.
So I'm going for a green Earth. So for green livings.
So if all of us win the lottery, we could pretty much single-handedly balance the earth and make it perfect.
Yeah. If we each won $100,000, it would only take $400,000 to fix everything.
To fix the Earth.
$100,000. $100,000. You can't buy a house for that.
I know. We all won $100,000 from the library.
For the library.
For the library.
And I said it wrong, too.
Get out.
Sean's like, I hate you.
All right.
And then they're going to use whatever remaining cash to build statues to the four great men that saved the Earth.
Right.
Yeah,
They're
exactly.
just going to recarve Rushmore.
Right. Exactly. I think that's what they should do.
Four podcasters to save us all. That'll be the slogan.
On the One Ring.
Wondering.
All right. Sherry asks, how would you describe your everyday life using only 5 words?
So are we saying that this 5 words have to make a complete sentence?
Or 5 individual words.
She does not specify. She does say, describe your everyday life, though.
Wait. Where do you get all this stuff for wood stove house? You've got like a wristband here that's got like wood stove house, like in tin. You have like all these accessories. Every time I see you, tattoo.
I'm well
rings,
accessorized,
bumpers.
my friend.
He's a walking brand machine.
Next time he cuts his hair, he's going to have it like etched into
Shaved.
into the
There's some places in Lancaster I think they'll do that.
Yeah, absolutely.
You ask that question, I look over and I see this cool leather bracelet with a metal plaque
This
on it.
was actually a gift from a real good friend.
Well, they are a real good friend.
Two good friends, actually. A married
You
couple.
have 2 friends.
I have two very good
Just
ones.
the
Real
two.
good friend. All the goodness went into those 2. The rest are just kind of so-so.
Right. Present company included.
Yeah, of course. Okay, sorry to interrupt the conversation there. It's just, every time I see you, you've got more wood stove house
Bling.
and stuff going on, and I'm just like, what? I don't understand.
Hey, that's good. This is real estate, brother. this is a billboard.
Prime.
So if we pay, can we get a Lancast tattoo?
If you pay, yeah.
Why aren't you two walking Lancast billboards?
I don't know.
It still costs money to get the tattoo. We were actually talking about it. Money left over from Kickstarter, getting ourselves tattoos.
He actually has a wood stove tattoo.
Yeah, I saw it the first time I met him.
That's right.
And recognized it from Twitter. I was like, I know that logo.
So you like that guy?
So that's wood stove house. That's 3 words.
That's 3 words for me.
Two
Yeah.
words left.
Is awesome. That's
This is awesome. Okay, so back to the question at hand. 5 words that describe your life.
Katrin, Eden, Jacob, Ryan.
Yeah, right.
Oh, he's
Lauren.
playing the family card.
Just because she listens to this episode, you know she will when she does the write up.
Plus 10 points for Keith.
I mean,
know.
pretty much every day is pretty much them.
Wow.
I guess we got to give him that.
Yeah.
He's not lying.
Family. You're gonna make Jason look like a jerk when he doesn't pick his kids.
Right, when I say wood stove house.
Wait, how many kids?
instead
You
of
don't
my
have
kids.
enough.
Well, I have two kids.
You don't have enough kids
You don't have enough kids.
I got plenty
Your
of kids.
your family's not enough to eke out
to be
5.
your life.
No, I got plenty. You got to upgrade vehicles after you cross that 3-kid, wild card.
So we have Jason or Keith's slacker one. Let's go with Shawn.
Oh, man. The whole time he was talking, I was just trying to think of something, and I got nothing. Okay. I'm trying to think of 5 things that I do routinely. So
5 things.
Just like your show, 5 things.
I know. See, on my show, I never talk about myself on very rare occasions. So I guess work, create. That'll be all my YouTube endeavor. Love, that'll be my wife. See, I know I learned from Keith a thing or two. Work, create, love, sleep, and relax.
Ooh.
Those are my 5 things I do most of my time.
Okay.
Wow.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. Jason.
What do
Jason.
I do? Music would have to be one of them because I play music. I program.
Okay.
I'm a software developer, so that would be one of them. Family. I'll play the Keith card too.
Yeah, but I mean,
no,
my
they're-
entire one family.
I mean, obviously, family's important.
1/5 important.
Yeah. It's not,
Not
it's
as important
a whole.
as it is for Keith, obviously. Music, programming. Well,
So you've
I
got
write on the blog.
So writing.
Writing, I do that quite a bit. And I guess audio for the podcast. I'll go with that. Those are my 5 words.
Your 5,
Music,
okay.
family, audio, programming, and writing.
Okay. So I'm going to go with... I'm going to start off with Lancast. Because, duh. And
Well, where's the tattoo? Duh.
it's coming.
Kickstarter.
That's actually the main reason we did the Kickstarter, to get the tattoos. We don't
Kickstart
really
my
care.
body art.
We don't really care
Kickstart
about
my
any of
body
the other. I should start one. Kickstart my body art.
Well, I guess you can put it under art.
It's a project.
It's a creative project.
Creative project.
But then you got to figure out what you give to people. It's dead skin cells.
Leftover ink. Okay, so I said Lancast, and then I'm going to go with...
Okay, so we know what's important to David.
No, nothing. I don't have a
Lancast.
family to fall back on like all you do.
Well, you have
okay.
you have a mom.
You have no family? It came from somewhere, man.
Family. I'm gonna say comical art. It's like
Are you using 2 words?
ow. Okay, we'll just say comics, even though I'm not referring to comic books. I'm referring to like humorous comic, web comics mostly. But okay, so comics. So we need a 5th one, And that will be friendly. I like Friends. Mine were the weakest. Dang it.
You could have just said Friends.
I don't know if there was a competition.
Friendly.
It was more of a descriptor.
Because, well, it has to describe yourself. So if you
it's still
say friends,
word.
it doesn't describe you.
Yeah, but Sean slept 4 or 2/5. He's
He was
relaxing
sleeping and relaxing. That's true.
Hey, it's important to have a nice, centered
Number 5
well-being.
is science. Plants. Plants
Plants are science. Are scientific
Horticulture,
plants.
that's science
Horticulture.
plants.
There we go. Okay. Now you found a way to get it into one word. All right. Well, there we go. All right. Ben asks us. Okay. It says, I love your episode with Penn. What are your top 2 or 3 favorite flicks ever? And no using Star Wars or Indiana Jones.
What's wrong with Star Wars and Indiana Jones?
I think they're too easy. I think he wants to know, like, outside of this. I'm going to go a step further
Are there
and say...
other movies?
I'm going to say let's exclude Lord of the Rings as well. So,
Okay.
You still haven't cut
Okay,
any of the
I'm going to
ones that I
say.
would've said
I'm going
anyway.
to say. Let's go ahead and exclude Avengers and anything comic related.
All right.
Still fine.
I'm still good.
All right, comedies are out.
All movies.
Nothing drama.
All movies except for Jack and Jill by Adam Sandler are not usable.
Well, Jack and Jill. I don't think I've seen an Adam Sandler movie in the last 10 years.
I think that
I think The Longest Yard was probably the last one. That's not one of my favorites. In chronological order: Citizen Kane, Children of Men. Nope. Citizen Kane, The Matrix, and Children of Men.
Okay.
Those
All
are.
right.
I don't know if those are my top 3, but those are 3
They're
films
up
that
there pretty
I've
high.
I've probably seen each of them a dozen times at least.
Okay.
Wow.
That's good. I have. It kind of rotates, but I would almost say. I'm going to say 4 just to cover.
Cheater.
Yeah, 'cause I'm going to cheat. Okay, fine. I will say 3. I'll say 25th Hour, Motorcycle Diaries, and Layer Cake.
Solid. I like those.
Jason's like Hong
Hong Kong
Kong Phooey.
Phooey. Hong Kong Phooey returns.
The Rise of Hong Kong Phooey.
Right. Hong Kong Rising. And Phooey Fest 4. Hong Kong Phooey, #1 super guy.
I'm so glad you did that again.
So my problem is that I really stopped watching movies. I used to watch movies quite a bit in the 90s. When I lived in Nashville, my wife and I lived pretty close to a movie store, a rental place that had 50-cent films. Their whole catalog, the whole store was 50 cents to rent. You could rent them for 3 days.
Whoa.
But they were 50 cents from Monday to Thursday. But if you went Thursday night, so then it was like $1.50 or whatever. But if you went Thursday before close, you still got the 50-cent price, and it was 3 days. So you could keep them over the weekend and return them on Sunday. So we used to go and stock up on movies on Thursday night to watch all, just like all weekend.
This is pre kids, right?
Oh yeah, this is in like 95, 96. Okay. And so it was and we didn't have cable or anything connected to the television. We had this TV we bought at a pawn shop that had an orange hue over everything. But we did have a VCR and this old TV, and so we would watch movies.
Wait, what is a VCR?
A VC who?
Yeah. It's
one of those big reel things you have to
hand crank your TV.
It was the days. But
Steam engine powered TV.
Yeah, because we had coal and it was powered.
It was hard to hear the television though over the coal.
Plus the dinosaurs out back.
Yeah, they made a lot of noise.
And Jesus always preaching.
So anyway, but I was really into violent films, and then somewhere around 2000, 2001, really the advent of the DVD, no connection. I just got uninterested in film. I don't go to the theater. I've been to the theater just a couple times in the last 10, 12 years. So this is a tough question, but I will say that back in the day, my 3 favorite films in the 90s were Braveheart. I actually went to see Braveheart several times in the theater, and had terrible experiences every time I was in the movie theater with Braveheart. I mean, not the film was awesome, but people around me making noise. I went to a 9 o'clock showing of Braveheart once, and there was a woman who brought like a 3-year-old boy.
Oh, it seems appropriate.
It's appropriate movie.
She also took him to the Passion.
It was just ridiculous. You know what I mean? And he was, of course, on the squeakiest chair in the theater.
Yeah.
Natural Born Killers was one of my absolute favorite movies before I stopped watching violent films, and The Last Temptation of Christ. Those three. Today, I would say, but it's tough for me to watch violent movies now. But The Last Temptation of Christ is probably my favorite film that survived that era.
That movie is incredible.
Yeah,
I love that movie.
I could watch that movie.
All three of those movies are pretty solid.
They're solid, right?
Yeah. Keith is going to be like. He's going to be like Little House on the Prairie movie.
Aladdin.
Aladdin.
How did you know?
It's all.
The Muppets Take Manhattan.
We just looked at your collection before we recorded.
Ruined me. Now what am I going to say? Favorite movies of all time. That's hard because I like a lot of movies, but I'm just going to pick 3 that I really like. They're not like Sean said, not necessarily my favorite, but I like them.
All 3 Transformers movies.
They're all,
You just really like Shia LaBeouf.
except for the fact that I hated the second one. Yeah. And thought the third one was just okay. But
So wait, you did see them though?
I did see all of them, yeah. I liked the first one. Was good. Second one was terrible. Third, I would never even watch the second one again. It was so terrible. And third one was just kind of like, it was okay. Anyway. Hate me now if you want. I don't care.
Always have.
Okay, taking away my rule of the no comic book ones.
You cannot take that away. You set that out there.
But Watchmen is one of my favorite movies. I loved that movie.
I'll let it go because it's not a typical.
It's not a super.
It's not really your
popular
typical comic book
comic
either.
book, right? It was a graphic novel, so that doesn't count, right? Graphic novel, comic book.
I don't think anything by Alan Moore.
You can't choose a Garfield movie either.
He just likes Bill Murray.
Yeah, so that's,
Mondays.
That's one of them that I liked a lot. Another movie I really enjoyed was Thank You for Smoking.
Thank you for. Oh, okay, yeah.
Aaron Eckhart. Yeah.
I thought that was a good movie. And the last one has got to be. I'm gonna have to go old school with Bruce Lee and Enter the Dragon.
Nice.
All right.
I got to tell you,
Speaking of Hong Kong Phooey.
I don't know if you guys ever saw. This goes way back. Maybe pre-Phooey.
Whoa.
But one thing that I did do was introduce my kids to some old films that we watched when we were kids, and there were Disney films that had this guy Dean Jones. It was like back in the 70s. There was this whole run of like Disney films, and there was one called the Snowball Express. That
My wife
Yeah?
talks about that movie.
So it was wild. I mean,
Holy crap, this is really weird.
I saw this movie in my elementary school. Like they showed the film as an assembly. We would watch every 6 weeks or so. They would have us watch a movie in the auditorium. And my kids one day.
How do we entertain kids for 2 hours?
Yeah, go get the film. And like they had to switch the film in the middle of it because the one would run out and they'd put the other reel on. It was great.
And the dinosaurs out back.
Yeah, the dinosaurs, Jesus, the whole thing. Anyway, my kids were like, I've watched some of these new kid movies because of my kids, and it's like they're just not that good. And I said, oh, you guys, they were like, what movie do you want to watch tonight, Dad? And I'm like, Natural Born Killers. No. I was like, you know what, guys? I said, I got to introduce you to this movie called The Snowball Express, and they were just like, their eyes rolled. They were just like, Dad. And we found it on, you could rent it on Amazon, and it became one of their favorite movies.
Wow.
It's a really funny classic comedy from the probably like 1972, like something like that.
Yeah.
I don't remember why I came up with my wife.
Apple Dumpling Gang.
Yeah, it's that kind of,
Yeah.
She talked about watching it every year with her family. And
is that
she was
right?
like, this is a tradition that we watched it. And I was like, I've never even heard of this movie.
Wait, yeah, you know, tradition movie. There's like other movie, like Christmas movies and stuff too. That,
Sure,
like
yeah.
you watch every year. That like It's a Wonderful Life and
It's Wonderful Life, yeah. We watch Planes, Trains, and Automobiles every Thanksgiving. My wife and I do. The Tuesday... So I guess I do have films that I just don't count those as movies because we just, you know what I mean?
'Cause,
We watch them every
they're-
year. They're more like... but the Tuesday before Thanksgiving, every year, because that's when the action starts. Neil Page is leaving his office at 5 o'clock on the Tuesday before Thanksgiving. So that night we always watch that movie. It's like a ritual. Classic.
I got you. My mom and I used to watch Trapped in Paradise
Really?
every year. And I always watch on my own. Usually I watch...
Yeah.
why can't I say it?
Christmas Carol.
No, I mean it's a Wonderful Life. It's one of my
Yeah.
favorite all time.
Yeah.
But Trapped in Paradise, like nobody knows about that movie, but I love it. It's John Lovitz, Dana Carvey, and Nicolas Cage, and they rob a bank in Paradise, Pennsylvania, and a snowstorm hits, and they get stuck here, and comedy ensues.
The Antics.
Yeah, so
So I guess those are
Based-
really my
That's
favorite
based
movies.
on a true story too. Right?
yes,
That one time that Nicolas Cage got snowed in Pennsylvania.
Yeah, the one time
it's
that Nicolas
actually
Cage-
based on Nicolas Cage.
Nicolas Cage, yeah. Nicolas Cage, you're tasteless. No,
Before we move on though,
Back before he did
old
Bad
movies, old classic movies got me thinking about Don Knotts.
Yeah,
I
man.
mean, I used to love Don Knotts.
Yeah, he was solid.
Mr. Limpet, is that when he was the fish? What was the one where he turned into a
Oh, that's right, the fish.
fish? Yeah, oh man, I love that. And then as I was growing up, Animaniacs, the cartoon, used to always reference Don Knotts movies, and I'd be like, nobody else knew who he was.
Yeah, he was something else, that guy.
Don Knotts and who's the guy he co-starred with a lot?
Well, Tim Conway did a lot of
Tim
work.
Conway, yeah. Don Knotts and Tim Conway.
Yeah, they did a lot of those old, Disney movies too. Anyway,
You know about him?
I've seen at least one Don Knotts movie, something with a haunted house.
I thought this was going to be another one of those Hong Kong Phooey moments where you're like,
I don't even know who that is.
No, I definitely know who Don Knotts is, but
I think you got to go a little younger.
I've only seen one movie, and it was probably when I was a kid because my parents were like, "You should know who Don Knotts is," and I was like, "Okay."
He's awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, so another.
Jerry Lewis, I bought into. My dad and
Yeah.
I watched a whole bunch of Jerry Lewis movies, and I got that.
We used to watch. My parents owned, and we watched all of the Abbott and Costello collection.
No, they
all,
owned it.
all the movies and all the. Yeah, they owned it.
What else did they own?
They
Rich
owned-
Family.
They owned. I should rephrase that. They stole it.
They traded his brother for him.
Yeah, that's why
They-
it's good English.
There used to be another Slusser.
There used to be one before Steve.
Wow.
Jeeves. He's now a search engine on the internet.
Sold him to the internet.
Okay, another question from Ron. Top 3 things on your bucket list.
I'm glad that Jason is having the same reaction to this that I did. Gosh, that's awful.
Didn't we have a similar conversation about this last time?
I don't know.
3 things you want to do before you die? I don't know.
Top 3.
Top 3.
That's the clincher
have
right
top
there.
3.
That's really hard.
All these top 5, top 3, top this, top
I can't
that.
say mine on the air.
Okay.
All right.
I will go. I will
Please.
go. I just think this. I seriously feel like we had this.
San Diego Comic-Con.
San Diego Comic Con. I know. I like this is a list. San Diego Comic Con,
No, you know what it was? They were the nerd things that you...
which are basically the same thing.
Yeah, right. It's not
San
gonna...
Diego Comic Con.
Your bucket list is a nerd bucket list.
Almost. New Zealand.
Yeah, where Lord of the Rings were
Right.
filmed.
And I'd like to kiss a smoking hot redhead. Holla.
Just any smoking hot.
Just-
does it have to
just
be
kiss?
a woman?
Just kiss?
Is it okay to pay her? Is it okay to pay her after? Because we can make that happen tonight.
Some of them don't kiss, Jason.
Yeah, it's true. It's the red hair that makes them weird. No. Hey, I put that out there. I'm
you
not
said
afraid
a smoking hot redhead. Does it have to be female?
That was my question.
Yes, smoking hot female redhead.
Like Danny Bonaducci wouldn't count.
No carrot.
He's got the smoking part.
That's my top 3, Ron. Thanks for making me sound like a fool.
Yeah, you did that yourself.
Yeah.
So anyway.
Whatever. Keys are too inappropriate for radio, so
This is the internet, pal.
that's true.
Yeah, there's
Nothing too inappropriate.
What's the,
for
the FTC here?
I think something my wife and I talked about doing next year was driving the coast in California. I really like California. I like it. I've become a fan of the time I've spent in California. It really makes me want to spend more time there.
I like how it's on your bucket list, and then it's like you're like already like you're doing it next year. You're like, so next year I'll be ready to go.
Well, I'm not thinking too far out. You know what I mean?
Okay.
I'm not really thinking. Yeah, I'm not really thinking that far ahead.
All right.
But that's something that I'd really like to do. I mean, I could put on my bucket list that I'd like to live in California at some point.
All right.
But I don't know if that's even really something that
I could see you with a surfboard.
He walked in here with one.
Like, I mean, yeah, that's true. I mean, you don't actually have to surf, but like you've got the hairstyle,
I would
you
just carry it. I would just carry it around.
Like,
Yeah.
hey, what's up? I'm
I just
catching
mount
some
it on
waves.
my mini or my what do they call them, the VW bus,
Yeah.
and just put it up there and never take it down.
And if anyone like gets really, really questionable about you, you can be like, well, it's there for other people.
Right.
Why should I
I'm
keep
here to
other
serve.
people surfing?
I'm here to serve. Not surf. I'm here to serve. So that's something that I'd really like. I really like to spend some more time out there. Sean, why don't you take one and then I'll bounce back? Just one.
Okay, well, there's one that's really easy. I would like to have a family. There.
Okay.
I haven't done that yet.
I guess it's better than just kissing a girl.
Right.
Wow, he wants
Baby steps.
He doesn't just want to kiss a smoking hot girl. He wants to have babies with her.
I got the hot girl. That part is already accomplished.
Now.
I need all of the rest of the dirty disgustingness that goes with that. Having kids.
It's awesome. It's the greatest thing ever.
That's what people keep telling me.
Dude, I'm telling you, it is. It's the greatest thing ever. Even the bad, crappy stuff when
Like them throwing up in your mouth.
It's still awesome. Well,
I can't wait.
of the kids throwing up in your mouth,
Yeah.
not really happening. I mean, I haven't experienced.
You never? I thought
And
that was like an every dad thing.
To have the kid throw up in my mouth?
Like, because you're like,
Oh, no, the kid threw up all over me.
okay, but it didn't get in your mouth.
I had one that was
Your kid's got bad aim.
yeah. I had one that was a real vomiter. I mean, she just didn't hold anything
Did she
down.
miss you
for
when
a
you
couple-
came back after that phase? You're like, oh, God. She's done vomiting.
They never really hit me when they spit up or throw up.
But you know,
Because you were never there, absentee father.
yeah,
Yeah.
deadbeat.
I have cat-like reflexes, and I would see it coming at me.
You just
Honey,
tossed the baby.
Where's Daddy, Mommy?
I just
Out in the garage again with those boys.
Podcasting.
But anyway, yeah, it's awesome.
Okay, the gardener's coming over.
What else would I like to do? Bucket list.
Make a bucket list.
Yeah, maybe I should do that. Maybe I should put that on the bucket list. shouldn't I?
I wish I would have thought of that one.
So making a bucket list is on my top 3.
Okay.
Spending some time in California. What else do I want to do? I don't even know what I want to do. I'm doing what I want to do.
Figure it out. That's number 3.
I mean, I know that people talk about climbing mountains and all this kind of business. And
Yeah, every time I hear bucket list, all I can think of is old men skydiving. I've never even seen the movie. I just
have I.
instantly
Or bungee jumping.
I see Jack Nicholson skydiving.
Well, I have zero interest in extreme stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like I have zero interest
See-
in
see,
Not even
I'm-
extreme podcasting?
not even extreme podcast.
I'm not interested in any of the extreme stuff, like jumping out of a...
Yeah,
or
no,
anything like
none.
that. I am slightly interested in the thought of sailing maybe around the world or something, getting a sailboat and just doing like the...
Oh, it was nice knowing you, Keith.
Yeah.
Or
By
something.
yourself?
Well, not necessarily by myself, but just I want to do it all the old, just a sailboat.
You, a hot air balloon, and the whole world.
That would be actually kind of like not a hot air balloon, but it would be cool to go around the world in a Zeppelin.
See,
Does Zeppelin still exist?
Yeah, is that
They
commonplace?
do. They do. You
Well,
can
the
still get
Goodyear,
them.
the Goodyear blimp. Is
Yeah, you can
a
still
Zeppelin.
get. You can still get blimps.
You know,
MetLife.
They're filled with like. I don't think they're filled with hydrogen anymore though.
the Empire State Building was built to dock with Zeppelins. They thought at the time it was going to be like the next
an airport.
major form of travel.
Yeah.
And then, of course, the Wright
Airplanes.
brothers
Yeah.
and like
Invented,
that
yeah.
whole idea went to pot.
What? Have you
But it's a nice
Have you seen
building.
the episode of Archer where they flying across? And, never mind. And he keeps like, "We're all gonna die on this. Don't stop smoking." He goes, "It's filled with helium. What part of non-flammable are you not getting?" He's like, "Obviously the core
Not-
principle."
I love that show. Okay, Sean, you've got 2 more.
Okay. I want to think of like one more realistic one and then one that's just way out there. Okay. I have at several points in my young life tried to write a book and I've never actually finished one. Like I've gotten a little bit of traction and then just fell apart. I have books at home on like how to write a book and I've
You know, you could just read a Choose Your Own Adventure book and then just be like, oh, well, I made that story. So.
okay, well that'll be my fallback plan. But I would love to actually
Fiction? Like a novel?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I've started like 3. I've made 3 legitimate attempts at starting a novel and never gotten anywhere. So to actually finish a novel, even if it's not published or anything, even if just for myself and my friends,
Your family.
You ever hear
be good.
about that November thing that happens?
Oh yeah,
Each year?
you write a book.
You write a book in a
November.
month?
There's like an acronym for
That's
it or
what,
something.
Yeah.
Angie Piazza, we had her on the show. She wrote her book during that
During
challenge.
that time, that challenge, it's a neat idea. I mean, because you can kind of get energized with other people.
Yeah, it gives you the kick in the pants to actually
Right.
do it and get it done.
Yeah.
I would love to actually finish one of my books sometime.
See, that's the thing about bucket lists that I don't really understand is, are bucket lists like things that you can do right now if you just had the money? Or are they things that, like, goals? You know what I mean? Because I always think of bucket lists like, you know, like you say, jumping
It's
out of an
whatever
airplane.
it means to you.
Okay. Fine.
The Dalai Lama says.
Meeting the Dalai Lama, that would be nice.
Nice.
Right, yeah, that's a good one.
Okay, you've got one more.
Okay, my unrealistic one. I'm calling it unrealistic, but
You can do it.
I'm going to preface it.
You can do it.
It's 2012, and I'm young, and space is getting forever closer. I would love to, in my lifetime, enter the orbit of the Earth.
Just a little note on space getting ever closer and how it grows further and further apart. If you were to go in space and shoot a bullet, it would never hit anything, ever. Because the universe grows apart faster than the bullet would move. So,
Thanks.
Just a little, you know,
Thanks for blowing my mind.
The universe is actually speeding up too, isn't it?
but it's growing, it's getting...
Right,
it's
expanding.
It's expanding
Expanding.
faster every
So,
year.
so if you pointed at the moon.
Okay, so if you shot it out of the galaxy, like so that...
Oh, okay. Well, you need to qualify that a little
Right,
bit.
'cause there could
If
be
you shoot
something
it from,
close
if you
enough
shoot it
that
from
you hit
Earth, and you shoot it in a trajectory where it's not going to hit the planets in our solar system, which the chances of it actually hitting them are nil. But if you were to choose it...
Are literally astronomically small.
Oh, yeah. So if you were to shoot it, like, it would... I was reading a thing and it said that it would never get anything because it would never reach...
Because it
another
doesn't travel
solar
fast
system.
enough.
Yeah.
What if it goes through a wormhole?
Could you imagine, like, if you're on Mars?
What if the board?
Anyway...
Could you imagine if you were on Mars? Let's just say there's, or one of these planets, and let's just say there's like some beings up there, and there's like a drive-by, like some bullet just hits you.
Well, we know to blame David.
Yeah, right.
I'm shooting stuff in the air all the time. It'll never get to another planet.
That's because it'll never leave the atmosphere.
All right.
Keith still hasn't done his, did you?
Yeah, his are inappropriate.
Oh, yeah.
No, I
Mile High
I said
Club.
one. I said I want to go. I want to sail around the world. So,
yeah.
like either. I'm going to say this either.
So that's
or.
kind of like my
Rather-
space goal.
Rather than having two, I'm going to say an either or. I want to either on a sailboat or
Okay.
on a zeppelin. Like
All right.
either or. I would like to go visit India again someday. Which I actually said that. I know I said that in one.
I know. That's
Yeah,
what I was like. It was just like
We're
mine.
revisiting last time.
Okay, so, and you have another one?
yeah, These aren't as boring as yours, okay?
Whatever. You didn't kiss a smoking hot redhead. In my fantasy world, I have, so duh.
I've already kissed a smoking hot blonde. And done other things. I've got 4 kids. I'm actually gonna go with the space thing too, because that's really, I would love to go into outer space.
Yeah, isn't that cool?
That would be cool.
On a sailboat or a Zeppelin.
On a sailboat or a zeppelin.
I'd like to orbit the Earth in a Zeppelin.
Oh my gosh.
I think it would be fun to go into space.
Yeah, it just keeps getting cheaper and more safe and everything. Like,
Once it's like the cost of a bus ticket, I'm on.
right. I want to ride the space bus.
This would be final one then.
All right. Last question from Oscar is...
The Grouch?
Yes, Oscar the Grouch.
I don't think he's a
And he
Grouch.
asked it very grouchily. What song is the soundtrack of your life?
See, it's all these personal things.
I know. If we do nothing here at the Lancast, it's dig inappropriately deep into your personal life.
Just give me a topic to debate that's not science fiction related.
Oh, man, soundtrack. Somebody asked me what my theme song would be the other day, and I was like, the Jurassic Park theme, like, duh. So, I don't know. If that really fits.
Rocky?
Rocky.
Dun, 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 dun. Eye of the Tiger. Yeah.
Final countdown.
Sort of, yeah. That's sort of appropriate for everyone, right? You're
Yeah.
counting down from the time you're born.
I'm just going to go with the Jurassic Park theme again, because, I mean, duh.
How is that the theme of your life?
When people see me, they're like, it's just like seeing dinosaurs, or I don't know.
No one has ever thought that.
Ever.
Choking on my own laughter. Someone else go. I gotta figure mine out.
Jason, you're on the spot.
I don't know, man. I mean, I could pick some obscure song from some obscure artist and say that's it.
Music is like your thing, man.
I know.
Well, that's the problem.
That's why
When
you
music,
can't pick.
When music is your thing, it's hard to pick a song that's your soundtrack.
Yeah, I mean, I
Rhythm
can't
of your
just.
life.
I
This
can't
is
just.
the rhythm of my life.
Yeah, well, I could go back to some of that, like pop music, right?
Mine is obviously Just a Girl by No Doubt.
All right.
No.
Got it.
It just speaks to me.
Yeah, that's
What was the Britney Spears song that was kind of along those lines?
I don't know.
Mine is every Britney Spears song.
Too Shy, Kasha Gugu. No.
I think you just made stuff up. There.
That was the Hong Kong foo moment. Everybody over
totally made up
35, they're like, oh yeah, Too Shy to Shy.
Oh, okay. I know the
Oh,
song.
see, I know that.
Yeah.
Kasha Gugu.
All right.
That's not it.
How about boom, boom, chicka, chicka?
We only have joke answers to this question.
Well,
Okay,
because-
I'll give you a serious answer. No, I won't. No. No. Okay. I can do serious. I can do serious. U2's one
All right. Why?
because I really agree with the theme of the song.
Very well.
Okay. What, are you looking at me?
It got serious once we started dropping real answers.
Yeah.
Man, I don't know, because like all the songs that always make me feel stuff or never have words to them. They're all like themes from something that I didn't even know until I looked it up.
Yeah.
So I think one's from Brave. Like
The Braveheart soundtrack is one of my favorite
yeah.
records, yeah.
I think it's a song from
fabulous.
Braveheart. I can't remember what it's called, but it's got like
Is it one of the recurring themes that happens throughout?
Do you know who did the score? Can we credit someone?
Yeah, it was, is it James Horner?
James Horner. I don't know.
Yeah, I think
The
it
guy
is.
who
You
did the
guys-
Braveheart
guys
theme
with the I guess
is
I
my
know.
soundtrack to my life.
The Braveheart
My
soundtrack.
phone's not. You can't look.
There's a song for people who want to look up something kind of obscure. There's an album called The Pearl by Brian Eno and Harold Budd that came out in
Sorry, you said butt.
Yeah.
I said Bud.
Oh, Bud.
Yeah, Harold Budd.
Maybe you should get your nose blown out again. Get your head pressurized again.
James Horner, you're very good.
James, okay,
Yeah,
he's
you were
very
right.
good. Don't look at me.
James Horner. All right, quick fact check. James Horner. But Brian Eno and Harold Budd did this record in the early '80s, and it's called The Pearl, and it's just a fabulous album. He's a piano player, Harold Budd, and of course he produces, does ambient music, and they made this record of it's just some of the most beautiful music. And the first song is called Late October, and especially this time of year, I really it's a soundtrack that I use. I probably listen to this record 300 or 400 times a year.
Once a day?
If you went with
Seriously,
that,
a couple times a day sometimes.
If you went with that, I would say the Tron Legacy soundtrack. I listen to that soundtrack infinitely.
Yeah. I mean, The Pearl...
That doesn't sound possible.
I know.
Do you listen to it
right now?
Yeah, I'm actually listening to it in those earphones.
I can't hear you guys.
That's why I don't know what you're saying.
I probably listen to it like that much.
Yeah.
Maybe 300 times a year. Because I'll put it on a couple times sometimes. It's great to work to.
Yeah.
And so...
I hear you there. That's how I am with the Legacy soundtrack.
Yeah.
Go ahead. What?
I've got my most recent ink on my body is song lyrics, so I don't see why I wouldn't just go ahead and say that this is mine. When my wife and I got married, we chose Elton John's Your Song as our wedding song. And I have the lyrics, How Wonderful Life Is While You're in the World, on my arm now. So I would say I'm only 2 years into my marriage. I'm still in that newlywed period, so that's totally...
Not written by Elton John, though.
Is there something on your wrist?
Of course not.
There's something on your wrist, is it like a year counter?
It's my invisible watch.
Invisible year counting.
You guys don't watch Five Things enough. I look at my wrist all the time.
I did notice that one time. I was like, why don't you just look at it? Anyway.
Yes, of course, the lyric is by Bernie Taupin, if we're being...
Which I heard on your pod.
Exact.
Your video.
Yeah. I explained this already. I'm covering territory multiple times.
I'd like to just think you really liked Moulin Rouge.
I did like Moulin Rouge.
I love that movie, but I think that's why I chose it.
That's why it ended up being our wedding song. So yeah.
Oh yeah. Keith, it's down to you, buddy.
I already said mine. One.
Oh yeah, that's right. So it's down to no one.
One love, David.
One love. We should all now sing the song that defines it. Okay, no.
We should put at the end though. Get the guitar out and just record us just like singing a song like terribly and just put that at the end.
Sure.
All right. So Shawn and Jason, why don't you just remind our listeners one more time where you guys are from and how to check in on your stuff?
You can find me on Twitter or on YouTube. They both have the same account name, Shawn V. Martin.
And you can find me at the Woodstove House, woodstovehouse.com, or on Twitter, Woodstove House, Facebook, blah, blah, blah.
Well, once again, I'm Keith Slesser.
And I'm David Moulton.
I'm Shawn V. Martin.
And I'm Jason Mundock.
And thank you for listening to the show. We hope you've been enjoying the Lancast.
This episode was produced by myself, David Moulton, with show notes by Keith and Lauren Slesser.
All pertinent links to this episode can be found in the show notes at thelancast.com.
If you specifically liked this episode, we ask that you consider making a donation.
Every little bit helps. Even $1 a show can keep us going.
If you'd like to help support us, you can do so by going to thelancast.com/donate.
And don't forget to subscribe in iTunes and tell a friend about the show.
So, for the Lancast, I'm David Moulton.
And I'm Keith Slesser.
Asking, are you in the cast?
Well, really, for me, I mean, beard or no beard, I bring the sexy.